You guys asked to see my Black Friday haul, so here we are. Hi, my name is Sarah, and if you're new to my channel, I make videos about sewing and styling a handmade wardrobe. I put up a poll in my community tab and asked if people wanted to see all of the things that I bought for Black Friday, and the majority of people said yes, so that is what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to divide it into sections. I'll start off with yarn and fabric, I'll move on to patterns, and then at the end of the video, I will share some of the ready-to-wear purchases that I have made. Not all of them have come in yet. And I will put in chapters on this video so that you can skip around to the parts that you're interested in. For the interest of saving time, I'm not going to put a lot of details about the fabrics or the patterns on the screen, but I will put the links down in the description box and you can check out the links if you want more information. Oh, and just a quick note before we get started, for those of you who might be new to my channel, I don't spend a lot of money anymore on crafty purchases throughout the year, but I do save money throughout the year so I can have a budget for Black Friday, Cyber Monday, so that I can take advantage of sales. And so if this looks like a lot, these are basically planned purchases that I have budgeted for throughout the year. So starting off with yarn, I purchased from one shop, Eat, Sleep, Knit. They always have this sort of surprise discount system, like you place your order and then at the end you can get a discount from anywhere from 10% all the way up to free. This year I ended up getting 10%, but I did have a credit with them. I'm not actually sure why, but I had a pretty decent sized credit. So I bought 2 skeins of sock yarn, and I'll come a little closer so you can see them better. I've been wanting to add some more solid socks to my wardrobe, but ones that are in fun colors. I have lots of neutrals, like kind of beiges and whites and blacks, but I do like the idea of wearing this pop of color sock with something like a loafer. And because red is my favorite color, I had already used a lot of the red yarn that was in my stash, so I didn't have enough to make myself red socks. So I went ahead and picked up 1 skein of really bright red and then 1 skein of more of a burgundy red. I'm thinking right now one of them will probably be a plain stockinette pair, and then the other one I'll do a simple lace pattern. But I do really love the idea of just having that fun, bright pop of red just like sticking out at the bottom of your pants. And because of the discount that I got and also the credit that I had, these skeins were very, very affordable. This bright red one, the Madeline Tosh sock, was like $10.40. And then the burgundy skein was $6.40. So very, very affordable for hand-dyed yarn. Now the next purchase that I want to share is from LA Finch Fabrics. Technically this was a pre-Black Friday purchase. They had a discount on some of their bundles, and it was actually my first fabric purchase of the year. So I got all the way to November before I made any fabric purchases this year. So the first thing that I got from them was a corduroy bundle. Each one of these pieces is around a yard, and of course it's a mystery bundle, so you don't know what you're getting in advance. I was kind of hoping that I would have gotten maybe fewer pieces, but ones that were a little bit bigger so that I could make pants or a longer skirt. But these 1 yard pieces are still very useful. I'll probably be able to make like a vest or a mini skirt, or just use it for trim, like on a barn jacket, do like the collar and cuffs. And I have already washed these, but I don't iron my fabrics until I actually go to use them, so apologies for the wrinkles. But I ended up getting 4 colors. I have like this charcoal gray, and this is kind of a micro wool corduroy. Then there's a little bit of a chunkier one in this cream color. And then I have this bright pink. This one I might save for my niece. I'm a little bit unsure right now. I might make her a bag or something. And then I got this chocolate brown, which I think is really pretty. Then the other part of my LA Finch Fabrics purchase was a denim bundle. If I remember correctly, the bundles were already at a fairly low price, and then there was a 25% discount on top of that. So all of these were very affordable. I'll tell you the prices after I put this down because it's really heavy. But I ended up getting 3 pieces of denim. This one is the heaviest, and I got the most of it. I think there's around 2 yards of this. And then these are more like a 1.5 yard, and they're both a little bit thinner, but they seem like really nice quality denim. Because it was a mystery bundle, I don't know exactly the fabric content, and I don't currently have any plans for these things. But the reason that I had bought the denim and the corduroy bundles is because I was very low on those things in my stash, and I know that I will always use them. So I can make myself jeans or jackets or dresses. There's just a lot of different things I can do with corduroy and denim. So the prices that I paid, I got 6.5 yards of denim for $35, which I thought was really excellent. And then I got 5 yards of corduroy for $32. So I guess by that logic, the 4 pieces of corduroy must have been a little bit over a yard, but it's in that neighborhood. It's not a ton. It's not enough to make pants. The next fabric purchase that I got, it's folded inside out, so I'm going to have to unfold it. I haven't washed this one yet. I bought 3 yards of corduroy from Fabric Wholesale Direct. I have never purchased from the shops before, but I read some really good reviews, especially on their corduroy. And I got 3 yards of this navy to make my husband a pair of pants. I have a tried and true pants pattern for him. I think it's the Thread Theory Jutland pants. I've made it several times and I've made him 2 versions out of corduroy. And he basically wears them to death. Like he will literally wear the things I make him until they fall apart. And we're kind of almost at the falling apart stage. So he needs a new pair. So I got this navy corduroy so that I can make him a new pair of pants. I probably don't actually need all 3 yards. I probably need more like 2.5. You had to purchase whole yards at that shop. So with the leftovers, I'm sure I can find something to do with them. So I'll come a little bit closer so hopefully you can see the corduroy a little bit better. Like I said, this one has not been washed yet. But it's just kind of like a typical corduroy. It's a nice weight. It's a medium weight, I would say. It's not super heavy, but it'll be nice for winter pants. So that was all of the yarn and fabrics that I have to share with you. Now I'm going to change the angle of the camera a little bit and sit down because I'm a little bit out of breath, and I'll share with you the patterns that I picked up over the Black Friday period. Okay, now I've sat down and I'm able to catch my breath a little bit, so I'm going to share with you the patterns that I picked up. The first company that I bought from was True Bias. They're one of my favorite pattern companies. They have great basics. I have bought and made so many of their patterns, and they always have one of the best Black Friday sales because if you buy 3 or more of their patterns, you get 35% off. So the patterns that I picked up this time, the first one was the Blair skirt. I got it for $10.40. Here's the funny thing about this one. I just got done decluttering a bunch of mini skirts that I don't wear anymore, and they were all more like flowy summer, spring type of skirts. But what I have realized is that in the fall and the winter time, I actually like wearing mini skirts with tights. So now I'm feeling like I have this hole in my closet where I don't have as many mini skirts anymore. So I picked up the Blair skirt because there is a mini skirt version. It has a button front and it has patch pockets, so it has kind of like that cargo look. But then it also comes with a knee-length version, which I'll probably never make because I don't like knee-length skirts. And then it has a longer version, which I might be interested in making. I do really like more structured skirts in the fall and winter as opposed to really flowy skirts. And I've already looked it up, and she does have a blog post hack on how you can line the skirt if you want to. So I would be interested in making the mini, maybe out of some of my corduroy that I got from LA Finch Fabrics, or maybe like a denim, something structured. So I'm hoping to find the time to make at least one of those skirts in this upcoming winter season. The next thing that I picked up from True Bias is the Lander zipper expansion pack. So I have the True Bias Lander pants. I've made them 3 times. They're one of my TNT patterns. I absolutely love it. I resisted picking up the zipper expansion in the past because I said to myself, Sarah, you have a brain. You can figure out how to do it without buying something. But the thing is, I just never have the time or the inclination to sit down and actually do that. So I figured it was easier to just buy the expansion when it was on sale. Somebody else has already figured it out for me, and it just saves me a little bit of brain space. So the sale price on that one was $3.90. So to me, I think it's well worth not having to figure it out for myself. And I'm sure that I will make the Landers more in the future because, as I said, it is one of my absolute favorites. The third pattern that I got from True Bias is the Bryn cardigan. It was also $10.40. When this pattern was released, I knew that I would buy this one. I was just waiting for it to go on sale. I love the versatility of this pattern because you can make it as a dress or a top or even a vest. It has sleeveless, short sleeve, and long sleeve options and different lengths. So I'm super excited to make this one. I think the version that I'm most excited about is probably the sleeveless vest. I think that it'll be a really great addition to my spring and summer wardrobe, but I also might make one of the cardigans this winter. I'll just have to see how that goes. The next pattern company that I purchased from is French Navy. I got the Roscoe sweater for $10.50. I've been wanting to make a half zip or a quarter zip pullover, and I do have one other pattern in my stash, but there's a couple things about it that I don't really like, so I was kind of shopping around for something else. I think that this pattern has really nice details. It's a relaxed fit without being super oversized. And this pattern appealed to me because of the color blocking options. I'm really hoping to make use of some of my leftover sweatshirting scraps, and I think this would be a good pattern to use for that. I didn't want to go crazy buying patterns at French Navy because I've only made one of their patterns before. I made their free t-shirt, which doesn't fit me the best, so I didn't want to go all out and just buy a ton of her catalog without knowing if it was going to fit me well. But I thought I would give this loose, oversized pullover a try and see how it goes. The next pattern that I got is from 5 out of 4 patterns. It is the Shenanigans skirt. I bought it for $6, and I've actually already made this up, and I talked about it in my November mix video, so I'll put that up in the cards if you want to check it out. but I really hate the idea of buying all these patterns and then not actually making them. So I was happy to be able to check this one off the list already. The next company that I want to share is Grasser. Now, this was also a pre-Black Friday purchase, but I haven't shared these purchases with you. A few months back, they had a 30% off sale, so I bought 3 patterns. They do only come in single sizes, and they have different height brackets, very similar to Vicky Sews. I believe Grasser is also a Russian pattern company. So the first pattern that I got is vest number 1116. I got it in a Russian size 40 in the shortest height. Actually, all of the patterns that I got were in a size 40 in the shortest height, so I won't keep repeating myself. I have been looking and looking for a vest pattern that has a higher rounded neckline rather than a V-neck, so I was super thrilled to find this pattern. The vest is completely fully lined. It would be great for those suiting fabrics or even things like corduroy or denim. And I think because it takes a small amount of fabric, it's good for using up leftovers. And the cost for that one was $6.30. The next pattern that I got is a bomber jacket number 1100. I have this one printed out and ready to tape together. I'm getting ready to sew this fairly quickly. This pattern is also fully lined. The pattern cost was $7, and what I loved about this one is that it really reminded me of jackets that are currently in shops right now, but that I have not been able to find patterns to match. It cinches in at the waist with some elastic, and it has a nice oversized shape without being super huge, and I'm hoping to make this one very soon out of some corduroy. And then the last pattern that I got from Grasser is called Dress and Jumper, pattern number 962. This one I feel like I already missed my window. I was hoping to sew it up in the early fall, but I just didn't get to it. And I don't think I'm going to sew it up for winter because I think I would just be too cold with my shoulders out. It's an off-the-shoulder sweater. I admit the reason that I got this one is because it looked relatively simple, and because I've never used this pattern company before, I wanted to start out with something that was a little bit easier to sew rather than a fully lined jacket or a tailored vest, but what can you do? I probably would never make the dress, but I was more interested in sewing the top. There are a lot of people who've made this up on Instagram, and so I think you can make it out of more of a thicker sweater knit, or you can use something like more of a slinky rib knit. So maybe in the spring, I'll go ahead and make this up and see if I wear it. I do really like the silhouette. I think that it's very pretty. But I definitely think that if I were to make it and try to wear it right now, I would freeze to death. So it's on the back burner for now. Those are all of the patterns that I purchased, and all of the links will be down in the description box if you want more information. All right, let's move on to my ready-to-wear purchases. The first shop I want to share with you is Abercrombie. I buy a lot of jeans from them because they have different lengths and they come in extra short. So I have actually been able to purchase jeans from them in the past that I did not have to hem. However, that doesn't apply this time around because they were out of stock of the extra short in most of their offerings. So I had to get regular or sometimes the short length, both of which I would still need to hem. So that's a little bit of a pain. I ended up buying 3 pairs of jeans from them, but I only have this one to share with you because I've already returned 2 of them. I had bought a couple pairs of their high-rise loose jeans, and they were just a little bit too big for me. I got my normal Abercrombie size, which is the 26 in the Curve Love. But when I tried them on, they were too big in the waist, and they were also too big in the hip. So I went ahead and sent them back, and I actually exchanged them for a size 25 in the Curve Love. So they have not arrived yet, so I'm not sure if I'm going to keep them or not. I will put in pictures of what the listings look like and also just a quick snapshot so you can see them on me. I did order a dark rinse because I've been wanting a wider leg dark wash jean. And then I had also ordered this pinstripe, which was kind of on a whim. It looked really good in the modeled photos, but then when I actually got it and opened it, I was a little bit underwhelmed. Like the pinstripe is actually really hard to see unless you're very close up. So I was disappointed in that one. So instead of getting another pinstripe, I actually ordered just plain black. And the cost for those 2 pairs, the dark rinse I think was $58 and the pinstripe was $70. This third pair of jeans that I'm holding was also $70. This is the low-rise baggy jean. And I had to get the regular length in these because that is all they had in stock. As you can see on me, they're like absurdly long. I would have to hem them probably like 6 inches if I wanted to keep them. Now, let me tell you, I never ever expected in my lifetime to buy low-rise jeans ever again. But when I looked on the website, it said that the front rise was 11 inches, which to me is really not that low. And they were kind of low in stock with the offerings that they had available. They didn't have a higher rise that was in my size. So I went ahead and ordered these because I do really want some leopard printed jeans. I just think that they're really fun. a little bit different, and there's just lots of different ways you can style them. So I went ahead and ordered these, the size 26 and the Curve Love. And like I said, these are the regular length. So these jeans are really interesting because you can actually kind of wear them two different ways. They are a little bit baggy in the waist, but if I wear a belt, I can wear them and they hit right at my belly button, and they are basically a mid-rise. So they definitely don't look too low. They're not like the early 2000s low rise that we all remember. And the baggy fit is actually very, very comfortable. But I also found that if I take off the belt and just kind of scooch the jeans down a little bit and make them so that they are a low rise, it's underneath my belly button, I have to say that they were way more comfortable than I was expecting. It kind of almost felt like I was wearing sweatpants, even though these are jeans. So it does appeal to me, even though I don't think it's the best look for me. I'll put in a picture side by side. Hopefully you can tell of me wearing them more mid-rise and then also slouching them down so that they're more low-rise. I get that the low-rise is probably not the best silhouette on me, but you can't argue with comfort. So I am leaning towards keeping these. I'm not 100% decided yet, but if I do keep them, I will have to wash them and then of course hem them. But I do think that these are really fun, and I'm glad that I ordered them and tried them out. And who knew in 2024 that low rise would be back on my radar. So next is a purchase from Coach Outlet. I promise I did try to restrain myself, but I did end up buying one new handbag this holiday season. I got this Coach Outlet Rowan bag. This is just the normal size. They do have a smaller one and a bigger one. This one's right in the middle. The reason why I wanted to buy this bag is because up to this point, I did not have like a true RGB red bag in my collection. I used to have a YSL camera bag, and I'll try to put a picture in if I can find one, but I ended up selling that bag because I don't like camera bags. And the strap on that one was just a little bit too long for me. So there were some things about it that were very annoying. So I ended up selling it. But then after that, I didn't have a really bright red bag in my collection. I do have some burgundy bags, and I have another red bag that's a little bit more of a bluish red. It's a little bit more of like a blood red. And I really do like the idea of having a true red bag that's really good for the holidays. It's good for Valentine's Day. It's good for any time of the year, honestly. So when I saw that Coach Outlet was having a sale, I went ahead and got this one. I got this one for $145 after tax, which I thought was a really good price. I do really like this bag. This type of Boston bag is one of my absolute favorite bag shapes because it just holds so much due to the nature of the shape. Like, it's very wide here, so you can put tons and tons of stuff in it. It does come with a crossbody strap. I'm not a big fan of the crossbody because it's a little bit too long for me. But the nice thing about Coach bags is that the straps are removable. So I can substitute my own strap. Like, I have a guitar strap that I ended up using on this instead and then just carrying it on my shoulder. And I do really like the look of this as a shoulder bag. I think that it looks better than as a crossbody. The bag has this really nice pebbled leather. Although I'm not the hugest fan of pebbled leather, I do prefer smooth leather, but pebbled leather is probably my second favorite. So I already carried this once to work, and it just held all of my stuff and was a real trooper. So I'm really glad I made this purchase, and I'm sure I'll use it a ton in the coming years. These are the 1460 Doc Marten boots in patent leather, and these are the children's size 4. So I had purchased two different pairs of Doc Martens a little bit earlier, I think last month, and I really liked them, and so I wanted to get one more pair. And at Zappos, I had another fairly decently sized credit. And because the children's Doc Marten shoes are actually a lot cheaper than the adult sizes, I was able to get these shoes for, I am not kidding you, $22. $22 for these. I couldn't believe it. I was a little bit nervous about the patent leather because I've heard bad things, that it's really hard to break in and it's painful, but I actually didn't find them difficult at all. I took my time. I didn't walk outside in them on the first day, but I wore them around the house for a few days and they gradually broke in, and I find them to be reasonably comfortable. I did add my own arch support so that it gives a little bit more support to my flat feet. And I also have to wear these with thicker socks. I can't just wear them with just tights or with like low ankle socks. They do need to have thick socks so that it doesn't rub against my ankles. But otherwise, I find these very easy to wear. I wasn't sure if I was going to like the patent leather, but I actually really do. One of my favorite things about winter style is just mixing up different textures. So I really love things like suede and leather and things like this cabled sweater. Just mixing up different textures in your outfit is a way to make it really interesting. And so I'm happy to have added these patent leather boots to my collection. And since I've had them for a couple of weeks, I've been wearing them over and over again nonstop. So very, very happy to get these, and even more thrilled that it was only $22. So my next purchase wasn't super exciting, but I thought I would mention it. I bought a couple of bralettes from knottygnome. So in the second half of the year, I've basically given up on wearing regular bras because I woke up one day and realized that I have a flat chest. I don't actually need to wear a regular bra. So why am I putting myself through that? So I switched to just wearing bralettes. But the problem with the bralettes that I already had is that they have the removable foam cups, and I just absolutely hate those. They shift around, they don't stay in place. When you wash them, they pop out in the wash, and they're just so annoying. So a couple months back, I had found these bralettes from knottygnome. They're called the Barely Zero Fixed Cup Wavy Bra, and the cups are sewn in so they don't move around, and they're very, very comfortable. So I had bought a couple of those earlier, but they are pretty expensive, and so when they had a Black Friday sale, I purchased a couple more just so I could add them to my wardrobe and pick them up at a decent price. So I got two of the extra small of the wavy bra in the treacly almond color, and they were $34 each on sale, which is still kind of expensive, but better than they are at full price. I think the full price is almost $50. So not super exciting, but definitely something that is very useful and I'll get a lot of wear of in the coming years. So I saved the best for last. The next shop that I have to talk about is Quince. I have ordered from Quince before and it's been a little bit hit and miss for me. Some of the things I really, really liked and some of the things I did not think were worth the price. I hadn't ordered from them in a while, so they sent me a coupon in the mail that was 10% off my entire order. Now, technically, Quince did have Black Friday sales, but they kind of did this thing where they had different stuff on sale for every single day, and I didn't want to place like all these different orders. So I just used the 10% off coupon and made one big order. And it ended up being that only one of the things that I actually purchased even went on their Black Friday sale. So I didn't really feel like I missed out. So the first thing that I got that I wanted to try out are their high-rise wide leg jeans. I got them in the size 26 with a 30-inch inseam. They do have different inseam lengths, but it was like 30 inches and 31 inches, which neither of which is very helpful for me. So if I do choose to keep these, I'm going to have to hem them again, like probably 6 inches or so. I bought these because with the coupon, they were $45, which is very, very low for jeans. Like, I'm not even sure I could make a pair of jeans for that price. And I was just curious about trying out their jeans, seeing if they were any good. And when I got them in the dark wash, I will say that these are extremely stretchy, and I wasn't really expecting them to be this stretchy. I'm not sure that I like that because in a wide leg pant, I feel like it's helpful to have a little bit more structure. But I do like the wash of them and they fit decently well. They don't fit great. So this one, I think I'm in a little bit of a holding pattern. I'm going to wait until I get my Abercrombie exchange jeans in the mail and then compare them to these. And I'll probably only keep one, either the dark rinse and the Abercrombie or these. And I did quickly snap a picture of them on so you can see what they look like. But that was my first purchase from Quince, and this is the only one that I'm a little bit on the fence about. The second thing that I got is a new watch band. So my black leather watch band that I bought from Amazon, it gave out on me. It like started peeling and it was falling apart. I had it for 5 years, so I felt like I got a decent amount of life out of it. So I just ordered this one from Quince. It's a croc embossed leather and it has silver hardware, so it does match my watch. And it was a little bit stiff at first, but it has loosened up with wear. The only thing that I don't like about these kinds of watch bands is I do have to tighten it to like the second smallest hole. The other watch bands that I've purchased recently have magnetic clasps, so it's basically like infinitely adjustable. So it's not as much of a pain. So we'll see if this stands up to the test of time. I don't know if it's going to last 5 years. Hopefully it will, but I'm decently happy with it. And the price for this one was $26.91, so not super cheap, but also hopefully maybe it'll hold up a little bit better than my Amazon version did. This next one was a no-brainer. This is their 100% washable silk skirt. It's the midi version. On me, it comes to just below the widest part of my calf. I do have another version of the skirt, exactly the same size. Oh, this is an extra small. I have it in a navy color, and I really like that skirt and wear it all the time. So I wanted to get this leopard print. The sale price on this one was $53.91. The reason that I wanted to get this is because I would like to have a silk leopard bias cut skirt that I would actually make myself, but finding silk fabric in a leopard print that I actually like, because I can be kind of picky about my leopard prints, and finding fabric that doesn't cost $1 million is just going to be very, very difficult, I think. So I just went ahead and bought the ready-made skirt and saved myself the trouble. I already know that I will wear this a ton. I'll wear it year round. I absolutely love wearing these types of skirts with tights and tall boots and then with something like a really chunky sweater like this. But you can also wear it in the warmer weather with just like a t-shirt and some sneakers. I just really love this style of slip skirt. So I know that it's going to be very useful. And I'm really into the leopard print right now. So this one was definitely a good purchase. This leather bomber jacket was $162. I got the size small. I sized up one size from my measurements, and all of the reviews said that this ran a little bit small, so you should size up. I think that was a really good decision because it's not too tight across my upper back. There's plenty of room, but it's also not huge on me. The sleeves are too long, but the nice thing about this bomber style is that it has these ribbed cuffs. So I just folded up the cuffs, and that actually shortens the sleeves enough to make it so that it fits me. I'm actually going to put this on really quick because I don't think I snapped any pictures of me wearing it. Now, I already own a black leather jacket, so I've debated for years whether I should get another one. But the thing about this particular style is that it is pretty different from my other one. My other jacket has a shawl collar, it's a little bit thinner, it's a little bit more fitted. To me, it looks a little bit more polished and professional, whereas this one's very casual. So I decided there was enough room in my wardrobe to have one more black leather jacket. I'll probably never actually wear it zipped up, but I just thought I'd show you what it looks like. It does have side pockets here, and the pockets do have a snap, so you can snap it closed if you want. I probably never actually will. It has this cool detail on the back shoulder. Hopefully you can see it. I can't see myself right now, so hopefully I'm in frame. And I do like that I sized up because I can comfortably wear it over this thick sweater and it doesn't feel tight or constricting at all. And that also further differentiates it from my other jacket because my other jacket is much more fitted. So I don't think that it would work over a sweater like this. One thing that I will point out about it is that it has this poly satin lining, which is not the nicest. I admit that it feels a little bit cheap and I'm a little bit concerned that the lining is going to give out before the rest of the jacket. The leather actually feels very, very smooth and it's very supple and very moldable. It's not stiff. But for the price of the jacket, I think that them cheapening out on the lining does make sense to an extent. So fingers crossed that the lining holds up. And otherwise, I am really happy with this jacket. I think the hardware seems pretty high quality. And I know that I'll get a lot of wear out of this. The thing about a leather jacket like this, it's really nice, is that I can wear it right now as like a layering piece and wear a coat over top. But when the weather is warmer in the spring and the fall, I could wear this on its own just as a jacket if I need a light layer. So I would say that this was my favorite ready-to-wear purchase that I got, but I actually have one more thing to show you. So this is their 100% leather blazer. I got it for $180 in this chocolate brown color. And this one is a size extra small, which is the size that matches my measurements. Now I had to take my sweater off because this one is more fitted, especially in the upper back and the sleeves. So I can't really wear a thick sweater underneath. I was not expecting to like this jacket as much as I did. If you've been here before, then you may have heard me say many times that I'm not much of a blazer person. So you might be asking, why did I buy a blazer? Well, I may not be a blazer person, but what I am is a leather person. I just got done telling you how much I love combining different textures, and I really do like wearing leather. I have quite a bit of leather or faux leather pieces in my wardrobe, and I just think that this leather blazer is such a versatile piece. I've already come up with so many different outfits in Index. I'll try to put in a little snapshot so you can see all of the different ideas that I've had. I've worn it twice. I think I may have taken some pictures, so if I have, I'll put them in so you can see what they look like. Now the fit on this is not perfect. As you can see, the sleeves are too long, but I have T-Rex arms, and so any ready-to-wear jacket that I'm going to buy, the sleeves are always going to be too long. So the thing about these is that they are too long, but they're not absurd. I have bought jackets in the past where the sleeves were literally like hanging 2 inches off the tip of my fingers. So it's not that long. It's just a little bit extra. Another very common fit issue for me is that it is a little bit tight in the upper back here. It's not super comfortable, but it's also not as bad as it could be. I don't feel like I'm going to tear the jacket or tear the lining or anything. I just can't wear anything super heavy or thick underneath. I absolutely love this chocolate brown. It reminds me of Lorelai Gilmore, that early 2000s fashion, but it's also not as harsh as black. So I just think that it's going to add a little bit, almost like an academic touch or like a scholarly touch to my outfits. I just really love this piece. It does have patch pockets. There's some stitching details on the lapels here. I think it seems like it's pretty decently well made. It does have that poly satin lining, but I swear I'm not making this up. I really think that this particular lining is a little bit nicer than the bomber jacket. It just feels a little bit thicker. So hopefully the lining will hold up. Because this jacket is a little bit more snug here, that's where I would be worried about like tearing a lining. But for $180, I do think that this was a really good buy. I think I'm going to get so much wear out of it. Like I said, I've already come up with 5 or 6 different outfit ideas for this blazer. And just like the bomber, it's another piece that I can wear it right now as a layering piece. But I will definitely also wear it in warmer temperatures as just more of a light jacket. So that is everything that I have to share with you from my Black Friday haul. I am still waiting on a few more things to come in the mail, but I didn't want to put off this video any longer. Let me know in the comments which item was your favorite or if you think that I should return anything. Thank you so much for watching my videos, and I will see you in the next one.